Imagine a world where you can make tens of millions of dollars. Tens of millions. The only minor sticking point? Well, might be fraudulent. Well, Peter Roussonicolos imagined it and did it twice. Durable medical equipment company owner Peter Roussonicolos, based in Florida, why is it always Florida, was sentenced to 12 years in federal prison after orchestrating a Medicare fraud scheme totaling $61 million in fraudulent billings. How did this happen? And what lessons can we take away from this? This could include investors, this could include business owners, this could include marketers, and healthcare. Please remember to subscribe to KLF Deep Dive, your go-to source for insights in healthcare compliance, pharma law, and more. What got Roussonicolos convicted and what every healthcare business needs to avoid. Number one, secret ownership and straw owners. First of all, Roussonicolos knew that he wasn't allowed to bill Medicare directly due to prior felony convictions. Instead of respecting this restriction, he concealed his ownership behind straw owners. Essentially, these were fake business owners who had no real control over operations. Roussonicolos was pulling the strings from behind the scenes. What is your takeaway? Never obscure or hide true ownership for Medicare or any federal healthcare program. I've had clients do this, and then they try to explain it away, saying that, oh, you know what, I was misunderstood. Investors need to confirm transparency ownership structures before acquiring businesses or entering partnerships. Not disclosing true ownership is a direct violation of federal law and almost guarantees regulatory scrutiny. Illegal kickbacks and referral schemes. Now, Roussonicolos engaged in illegal kickbacks. He paid marketers and recruiters to identify patients and doctors who were willing to submit fraudulent or unnecessary equipment prescriptions. Paying incentives directly tied to patient referrals or equipment orders will set off immediate red flags. It's not automatically a problem, but it does raise red flags. Investors need to confirm transparency in ownership structures before acquiring businesses or entering partnerships. Not disclosing true ownership is a direct violation of federal law and almost guarantees regulatory scrutiny. Now, there are lawsuits that you may be aware of that actually talk about the idea of, did the doctors have the choice to make a true decision, or were they just sort of rubber stamping everything? And if they were not just rubber stamping everything, you may have some control, and that's a good thing. As a physician, if you have control, if you're deciding things appropriately, that's a good thing. If they're just a rubber stamp, that's a problem.
Follow our page on LinkedIn.
Falsified medical necessity documentation. Billing Medicare for equipment that patients didn't medically require or that was never actually seen to be delivered could be achieved through falsified prescriptions, through fake doctor orders, and fabricated patient records. Fraudulent documentation like this is shockingly common in healthcare fraud schemes. We see it all the time. If you actually look at a bunch of these fraud schemes, you see them pop up over and over and over again. And regulators are targeting these offenses. All records, especially those relating to billing, must accurately reflect the genuine medical necessity and delivery of products. If you're a pharmacy, you must focus on, does the patient actually need this? And did you actually deliver the product? Conduct regular internal audits, periodically review billing and medical documentation, and save your company from costly fraud allegations. Then there's the concept of proactive compliance as prevention. Now, it's easy to look at a high-profile case like this and assume it's an extreme, and many of these problems start small. An unchecked compliance culture slowly drifts into high-risk behaviors. Well, if this was okay, then this is okay, and that is how things start. Companies that proactively embed compliance checks and balances are far less likely to face regulatory enforcement. So have you seen questionable compliance practices, and how is your company actively preventing these risks? Leave a comment or reach out to share your experiences. If you are a pharmaceutical or medical device company, trust the Kulkarni Law Firm. Reach out to us and we'd be happy to guide you through these compliant risks and through these regulatory issues. Reach out now if you have questions.
Call, click, or email.